Instagram, and all those other good joints, man. True Social, wherever you might be watching the show from. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Now, today is Wednesday, day before the 4th of July. Y'all got y'all firecrackers. Y'all got y'all sprinklers. Y'all got y'all Twistlers. Y'all got y'all M80s. Don't mess around with those M80s. Mess around and blow your whole hand off. So I know everybody's getting prepared for the 4th. I won't hold y'all too long, but I might as well go out with a bang while I got y'all here. So if this is your first time joining the show, please hit that like button. Share my videos, and let's get ready to rumble. Now, can y'all hear me? Yep. Thank you, Dallas. Right on time. So let's get it, man. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. Different kings in the building. Gorillas in here, gorilla in here, gorillas in here. Now, speaking of kings, apparently Donald Trump and the Supreme Court are now kings and queens and stuff like that. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. But before we get into all of that, let's go through a couple preliminaries. Don't forget, I do have a store with a merch in it. Call it Kevin's Corner Store. And that number right there, 330-974, if you text MAGA to that number, you can make sure that you're in the loop just in case I get rolled off of this network here or this platform. I can at least let y'all know what's going on and where I'm at. And so please do that if you can. Subscribe to my alternative channel, which that number seems to be stuck at 911. Odd number to stick me at, but if you haven't subscribed to it, please do. I really want to crack 1,000 so I can start doing some live streaming over there and build that channel up as well. So if you can do that, please do that. And with no further ado, I don't think I missed anything. Let's get into it. So we will be talking about how now Donald Trump is a king and the Supreme Court is a king. But before we do that, we got to touch on what's going on within the Democrat Party, y'all. It seems like they might be forming a coup. It seems like they might be just exposing the fact that all of this democracy they claim they're defending, they're about to subvert it. Or at least they're trying to subvert it with you-know-who. Creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slamy, sloppy Joe. Now, they knew he was sleazy and sloppy. They knew that long time ago. But they chose to run this dude, and they also chose to pick a raggedy, and I mean a raggedy, vice president. So they drafted a horrible quarterback and a worse backup quarterback. They did that, okay? They did that. They knew their stats. Yeah, they watched them perform in the past. Kamala Harris's approval was horrible when she was running for president. She was like one of the first to throw the towel in. Almost immediately. She didn't even wait for the pressure to set in from the rear naked choke. Soon as they reached around her neck, she tapped out. She's like, I don't want no problems. I don't want no problem. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And what did they do? Stick her in there like, let's see what qualifications she fit. She's black. Well, so-called. She's a woman. She's a woman. And she's crooked. She's evil enough to roll with this. She's just the type of go-getter we need. And they stuck her in there, and now they are in a pickle. So let's see how they're handling it, guys. Yeah, too big to rig. What's this?
President's defenders that his age was also considered an issue 4 years ago. You know, if you look at the polling now, compare it to what was pre-debate and compare it to what was 4 years ago, it's just not even on the same planet, Anderson. If you ask voters now, does Biden have the mental fitness, in fact, to be president? Those numbers are incredibly low. The percentage who say he does not have the mental fitness, look at this. 72% say he does not have the mental fitness in order to be president right now. That's up from 65% pre-debate. But compare that to 4 years ago, the percentage of voters who said that Biden was too old. It was just 30.
Excuse me. Yeah. So now, you see that? 72%. That is a large number to overcome. That's a large amount of people to try to gaslight. Apparently, he's ungaslightable. See, Joe have reached a level of being ungaslightable, so they can no longer get out there and look us in the face and say, thank you very much. They can no longer get out there, look us in the face and say, he's good to go. He's got to go. I just watched like a 6 minute or so montage entitled on YouTube entitled Sharp as Attack, huh? And it was this clip after clip of all of these same folks saying President Trump, President Biden is sharp as attack. He's sharp as attack, sharp as attack, tack, sharp as attack, tack, sharper than attack, sharp as an attack. And I'm like, okay. See, now, how do all those people who covered for him and was out there talking about he's sharp as attack explain this? So in 1 year, the tack got dull. You telling me that mug was sharp, and then something happened. So now we got 72% of the public saying, nah, that dude's blew out. And that's a large amount of people to gaslight. So here's CNN breaking it down, which I'm shocked. I'm sure someone has a dart gun ready to shoot into that guy's neck to put him to sleep in the middle of breaking this down.
36%. That's half the level that we're looking at right now. These numbers are not anywhere close to being the same. No. 4 years ago, voters for the most part thought Joe Biden was with it. He could handle the job as president. You look at those numbers.
And 4 years ago, they were all dumb and blind. See, I mean, it's fascinating to me that they were still looking at this dude 4 years ago. And I'm saying, y'all didn't see anything. Do you understand the trail of evidence this man has left way before they installed him of having some cognitive issues? I told y'all, for me, it started when they showed that clip of him at that swimming pool talking about, I like kids rubbing up my legs and I got blonde hair and in the summertime it stands up. And when he did that and it showed on TV, I said to myself, this guy's done. He's done. Everybody thought he was done. Then all of a sudden, Clyburn comes in for some reason as Joe was stinking it up through the primaries. And then they give the shaft to Pete Buttigieg and pretty much installed Joe Biden. Installed him. And I'm saying, how did this dude start from the bottom nine here? Started from the bottom nine, creepy sleepy's here. How did he go straight to the top? Because the Democrats wanted him to the top. They were like, oh, we got us a puppet. We got us a full-blown rag doll. We got us a Muppet, y'all. We can work it. We can work that mouth to death. So everybody else stand down, stand down. We're going to elevate the Muppet and we're going to elevate the evil stinking witch. And now they got a problem. So here we are now. They can't gaslight us no more.
Numbers now. The fact is, voters even see them on the same planet. They don't think Biden's with it. They do not believe he has the mental fitness to be president. And I have to be honest with you. I don't know how he wins with the numbers that we see right now.
Well, he doesn't. See, and that's the major dilemma the Democrats are in. They know this man is going to take it to the chin. Take it to the chin. Now, once again, if I was a Biden voter and I'm just getting this revelation, I would probably be kind of embarrassed. I would be thinking to myself, this just didn't fall out of the sky. This man didn't just go from 100 miles per hour to zero overnight. Yeah, this right here has been in the works for a long time. So I would be offended as a Democrat voter that the people in my party were lying to me along the way, the whole way. Yeah, see, I didn't have time, I guess, to look into things myself. Don't have time to follow politics. Don't have time to be sitting there watching the news and clicking on the internets and all of that stuff. I just vote and disappear and wait to come around the next 4 years. That's when I start trying to pay a little attention, like 2 or 3 weeks before, the voting and stuff like that. If you're one of those people and you just pop in every once in a while, you click on the internet and see Nancy Pelosi saying something, or you hear one of these operatives talking about Joe Biden is providing for the American people, and you're doing a service check-in like, okay, he's still doing good, stuff is happening for the country, okay, good. And then you watch that debate and you say, man, I trusted these people for the last 3.5 years. Every time I would click on fake news, they would be telling me how great Biden is and how horrible Trump is. They didn't stop for 1 second to say, hey, this guy's starting to decline mentally. He's slowing down. He's falling all over the place. This guy right now can't put together a sentence. He's losing his train of thought. This dude is making up words. He can't comprehend numbers. So I would be upset. I'd be going, who? I trusted you people. And that's how a lot of them feel, which we're going to find out in a little bit.
There is no precedent for the numbers that we're seeing right now for someone running for president, letting alone getting a nomination.
So this right here, this is one of the other things that there's just no precedent for. Like all of the corruption that the Democrats have wielded trying to stop Trump, with all these legal charges and attacks and stuff like that. Yeah, they're all about setting new precedents where we've never been in this territory before. This is new, because they're so corrupt. They make things up as they go. I mean, these folks right there are willing to do whatever they got to do to win, and they will move the public all around on the chessboard like chess pieces for their own gain and their own glory. And then when it all comes out, they look stupid, like now. See, if they would have been honest about this guy and let somebody primary him, then they wouldn't have to be sitting back going, there's no precedence for this. I mean, we've never seen a person just get beat down this bad. How did this happen? This dude broke all kind of records. He set all kind of new precedents. We've never seen a debate that raggedy. That man right there laid the biggest egg on the debate stage ever. Hey, I'm sitting on top of this egg. Could you come up here and get me, Jill? That egg took him off his feet. That's how big that egg was. And he started growing on top of that egg. So he left a major egg on that stage, and everybody's going, there's no precedent for this. We never thought we'd see anything like this. This man right now is a chicken.
These are the types of numbers, when you combine them with some of the numbers that we're seeing post-debate that show him trailing Donald Trump, these are the types of numbers that could end a campaign if he can't turn them around.
Type of numbers that could end a campaign if he can't turn it around. So what to do? What to do, ladies and gents? Yeah, if you're a Democrat, dirty rat, you sitting in there trying to figure it all out. So it looks like Biden plunges in swing states, and leak post-debate poll. So his own people starting to turn on him. The Democrats are starting to go ahead and undermine the boss like they did Trump when he was in office. So they're starting to leak things, and they leaked the internal poll. An internal poll. So we better go ahead and look at the real numbers, because if it's coming from their internal poll and they leaked it, this is DEFCON 5. They're sitting back right now going, okay, we got to go ahead and throw this dude all the way under the bus to get him out of here pronto, because he ain't going on his own. He's probably sitting in there like, what do I do, Jill? What do you think, Hunter? So let's see here about this poll, this internal poll. Look at some of the numbers. Okay, wait, North Carolina, Trump is up by 11. Georgia, 10. Arizona, 10. Woo-hoo-wee. I'm liking these numbers. Nevada, 9. Oh, my goodness. Ooh, it's a bloodbath. You see all that red? That's a bloodbath right there. Let's see. Pennsylvania, 7. That's right next door. It's right next door to Ohio. Michigan, 7. Ooh, you mean wretched Whitmore can't do nothing to even curve those numbers? Wisconsin, 4. New Hampshire, 3. Virginia, 0.6. And then we got New Mexico. Trump is up by 0.5. Now, this is not good. These are internal pollings that, if correct, would make the map look like this. Look at all of that beautiful red. Wow. So the only joints that's holding out Washington, Oregon, California, they can have them. They can have them. See, all of them right there. Yeah, they're crazy. It's beyond repair. Then we got Illinois. Oh, God. That's probably all because of Chicago. One city in Illinois. We got New York, of course. I don't know what the number 1 is out there. I don't know. I can't see it. But anyway, you see all that red? What I am seeing is red. And it's making me want to charge in just like a bull. I got my red shirt on and I'm seeing that red like I'm ready to charge into that red right there. So I'm appreciating it, and I know the Democrats are sick. Now, they would have never released or leaked this internal polling if they weren't trying to get Joe Biden out of there right now. So we got us on a replacement theory, y'all. Ooh. Now, you know how the Democrats are always talking about the Republicans are always into conspiracies, and there's the conspiracy about replacement theory and how they want to replace all of their voters with, illegal immigrants and stuff like that. Well, it sounds like the Democrats want to replace their candidate with somebody else. And because he's not so easily swayed to bounce, they got to revert to dirty tactics. Now, who's the conspiracy theorist now?
Apparently, the president apologized to everyone in the room, saying this is not an excuse, but it is an explanation.
Sorry, I stunk it up. It's not like you guys didn't know I stunk, but you stuck me out there anyway, but I'll go ahead and make a superficial apology.
And he blamed the extensive foreign travel that he did in the lead up to the CNN debate for his poor.
The extensive foreign. So, who wrote his excuses? Did Jill write that? Did Hunter write that? Now, that's an excuse for you, because that visit overseas was like 2 weeks prior. He shouldn't have even said that. Because I'm thinking, if you need 2 weeks to recover from jet lag, I don't think you should be running the country. Yeah, that's like me calling in to work. I won't be there Monday. Why, Kev? What's going on? Whew, man, I partied like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just still feeling it. I'm still feeling it. Are you kidding me? So, what other excuses?
For performance, just a reminder for everyone, he did go to France for the D-Day anniversary, and then he turned right back around and went to Italy for the G7 summit, and he told the room, I didn't listen to my staff, so the suggestion there being his staff did not think this was a good idea, and then he apparently said, I almost fell asleep on stage.
Now, why would you admit that? Why would you admit that? So Creepy is talking about, I almost fell asleep on stage. I almost pooped myself too. Who knows what was going on up there on that stage? We all saw the video clip last night of Dana mysteriously pointing towards, fake crapper. I'm still wondering, what was that? What was all of that? Like, So Joe was blew out up there on that stage from, I guess, 2 weeks of traveling overseas. Interesting.
I just want to unpack this new explanation for a second, as the explanation for why his debate performance was so bad. I find it a little bit puzzling, and frankly, I'm not sure that a lot of people are going to find this reassuring, if anything.
Wait a minute. Are y'all about to go ahead and actually challenge one of the Democrats' excuses? Usually, you all take them. Usually, you all go ahead and don't even question their excuses. The president was suffering from the sniffles. Y'all heard him. The president, these are deep fakes. He was turning around to watch the people over there. Usually y'all take these excuses. You never challenge them. The president has a stuttering problem. The president. But now all of a sudden you're talking about, I want to take a second. So that means somebody behind the scenes is telling them, you know what I mean. Go out there and challenge that mess. Blow his excuses to hell.
Some folks might hear this and be, even more concerned. Yes, there were 2 foreign trips in the lead up to the June 27th CNN debate, but he returned from Italy on June 15th. The debate, again, was on June 27th. So we're talking about roughly 12 days in between when he was back in the States. And remember, a part of those 12 days, about a full week, he actually spent with his advisors at Camp David for the...
So he came right back from Europe and then went off to Camp David. And the word on the street is they weren't even able to complete his training, his Jedi training, because he was napping throughout the whole process. They needed Mr. Miyagi to come in there and do the hot hands over his whole body. Where's the damaged area? You're looking at it. Well, like his shoulder or something? No, Joe, he's the damaged area. Oh, my hands are not big enough to cover Joe. He needed Mr. Miyagi to heal that whole body. Let's continue.
Sole purpose of really focusing on debate prep. So why is the president falling asleep on the debate stage at the hours of 9 p.m. to 10:30?
Pressure on president.
Oh, Joe. Boy, I tell you, I must admit, I am loving this. I'm having a great time watching all of this crap just be revealed. I mean, because we all knew what was going on behind the scenes. We all knew it. I mean, nobody found it suspicious that this man never did off-the-cuff interviews. Nobody found that suspicious. Nobody found it suspicious that this man had to come out and every time he would give some type of reading or do a meeting, he would have notes in his hands and would read them verbatim. Nobody just felt it was like, questionable when we kept catching those notes explaining what to say, who to call on, where to go, when to stop, when to start. Nobody that now all these people who's curious, all these people who's like, about you know what, that's hard, that's a hard sell. The White House is making excuses. None of those folks questioned why Joe Biden was coming out with cheat sheets all over the place. No freestyling anywhere. And when he did freestyle, he would do exactly some of the things we saw on that stage. But nobody questioned. Nobody said, excuse me, Black A, why does he always need notes? Why does those notes tell him sit down, stand up, walk over here, turn to the left, look up, look down? Nope, nobody. I mean, normally presidents don't need those. And the fact that he's not even in the condition to be discreet about the notes. Just like he's no longer in the condition to be discreet about his facial expressions. Whole time during the debate, everything was on his face. What? Confusion, anger, being scared, all kind of emotions on that man's face. And the same thing would happen when he would go out and just hold the notes up. Wasn't even able to start off by saying, all right, I'm calling on you. He had to go, now let me see, they told me who to call on here. Let's see, right there told me that this guy ain't here. Normally politicians try to hide it. They're like magicians, sleight of hand. He straight told us, what they told me what to do. Should I leave? Can I talk more? Nobody saw that and questioned it. Now, some networks did, but doesn't it feel good to know that you still got it here? Meaning you can look at things and put some context to it, draw some conclusions, do some deductive reasoning, and come to a well thought out conclusion of what's going on. And I'm saying nobody else is able to do this on the left? You're telling me only conservatives are able to think this way? That's crazy. So now all of a sudden they're pretending to be concerned about this.
Biden from inside his own party after last week's very poor debate performance. And we now have a new CBS News poll. While the presumptive nominees are functionally tied in our national poll, it shows a shift towards former President Trump. Now, our last poll had President Biden leading very slightly. The president was also in battleground states in the last poll. Now he is behind by 3 points, though that is still within the margin of error. This comes as the White House offers multiple explanations for the president's debate performance. And
the stars in the moon were not aligned. He hadn't had his daily dose of blood. You know what? The wind was blowing at 1.2 miles per hour. He can't function. He can't function when the wind is blowing like that. The lighting right there was flickering in his eyes, and he has glaucoma. And all kind of excuses, man. But they're like buttholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink. So I don't want to hear that, especially when we saw him like Donald Trump challenged me to a debate, and I beat him last time, and I'll do it again. You know what? I'll do it twice. I don't want no excuses. You asked for that, Joe. You did.
Be tested. What would it look like if Vice President Kamala Harris was in a matchup against Donald Trump? And
now here we go. What to do. All with the coup. What they gonna do when the coup? Yeah, so here we go. It looks like they're trying to slide Kamala in. Now, unfortunately, they don't have many options. I mean, honestly, when it comes down to wokeness and DEI and all of that stuff, you got to swap out, a black with a black. It got to be even swap. So you got to be even swap. And but Kamala technically would be the one where all the donators' money would be transferred to, because you can't just bring in Michelle Obama and ramp her up and take all the money that folks invested in stupidly to Biden and Kamala and just say, well, you guys are out. Let me hold on to this. There you go, Michelle. Run your campaign now. So you can't do that. So, and then not to mention, I think it's a risk for anybody to come in and try to clean up this mess and risk damaging their reputation. So Kamala is probably the best option that they have at this point, but she stinks. Right now, the head coaches are going, okay, our quarterback's down, and we're losing. We're losing by about how many? 50? We're down by 50 points. Okay. Do we go Kamala? I mean, she hasn't completed a pass yet. She stinks in practice. Why did we recruit her in the first place? Well, we thought she would look good on the team because we could say, look at this. We got us a black woman Well, no, we didn't expect her to be to throw passes and run and remember the plays. No, we didn't expect. We never thought we'd be here. We never thought we'd be. You know, here she comes. Here she comes. Hey, Chameleon, you ready? You ready to go in, champ? You ready? Now they got to pretend that she's ready. So over there, she's stretching right now, warming up. She's warming up. There you go. And I want to see her go in. And they're predicting that she might be able to come in and do something because, you know, look at this. They're saying she is the one that might be close enough to, you know, within the error of margin to take Trump.
And not Joe Biden. And the vice president actually does a little bit better against Trump than Joe Biden does. She pulls the race within margin of error, no clear leader. Donald Trump at 47, Kamala Harris at 45%. We also tested Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, Gretchen Whitmer. You see here.
Look at their squad. Their bench is thin, y'all. So we got let's see, Pete Booty. Nobody's feeling Pete Booty. Gavin the nuisance. Nobody want the slime ball. Nobody want that. Nobody wants the whole country to look like Cali. No? Okay. So, and then we got Gretchen Whitmer. Nobody wants her. The fake I'm getting kidnapped lady. Nobody wants her. Okay. All right. So who else we got?
Those Democrats, they kind of perform like Joe Biden. Donald Trump is beating them right now outside the margin of error. Only Kamala Harris in this poll of these Democrats tested is getting this race within the margin of error.
And she's like, I'm ready to go in, coach. That's right. She's straight Jim Carrey. I'm ready to go in, coach. Let's see that in an instant replay. So let's see. Look at the backup. That laugh right there, man, that would have scared me. You ain't got to jump in folks' face when you're laughing. What is that? Nothing's that funny. Got to be kidding me, man. Sound like the Joker. And she got that chuckle, that jolly laugh too. Whole body moving. I mean, come on, man. So she's up there. Don't y'all want that? For your president? Y'all don't want this?
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? She understood what was possible, unburdened by what has been.
Now I'm thinking if my whole coaching staff should be fired if I've been watching film like this and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go with this one. See, this is the film. I mean, how do you recruit somebody like this? This is unbelievable. Nobody saw how raggedy she was before they stuck her in as the backup. So here we go.
We have the ability to see what can be, unburdened by what has been.
That's deep.
Have to believe in what can be, unburdened by what has been.
Or is
We
it
must
deep?
always see who we can be, unburdened by who we have been.
So wait, is it deep or is she just saying stuff and putting that on autopilot? Maybe somebody should ask her to break that down. Oh, wise one. Go ahead, break that down. What do you mean when you're saying this? Give us an example and see what the dang on jackal, the cackling jackal got to say. But she never has to worry about that. She just says things and lets you interpret it.
The United States
She's ready.
shares a very
Yeah, this right here was a practice. This right here was a warm-up for her. They put her in practice a while back to see how she would perform, and let's see how she did.
very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea.
What? An alliance with the North? I'm not sure about that. Isn't that Kim Jong-un? So here she is. Had a chance to go in for a quick second. And this is what she produced.
And it is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
By now, she should have caught it. By now, as she continued, she should have started to go, wait, hold on. Did I just say North Korea? No, you know what? I'm sorry, everyone. I meant to say South Korea, but not her. She kept going. Now, I'm thinking you might be on the same level as Joe without no ailments. Hey, your ailment is the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol. So now, here's the drunk aunt trying to become our president, baby. You know, Auntie gonna be the president, right? You know that? Shoot, come here, because you don't want to be burdened by what is to come that wasn't there before, baby. And then when it comes together, then you can go ahead and be undone by whatever happened in the past. What? Hey, look here, baby, don't go get Auntie another beer. So let's continue.
But I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things.
Crickets.
Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us,
here comes something deep. Okay, I'm ready for this, because you know when people start talking about sayings that their parents and their grandparents used to say, usually it makes sense and everything. Like, yo, boy, you know, you don't think fat meat got grease. Okay, I understand that. Yeah, just got here, can't tell been here, nothing. Stuff like that. What doesn't come out in the wash always comes out in the rinse. Stuff like that. Let's listen to her great analogy from her parents.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
I don't understand that one. How's falling out of a coconut tree? See what they're working with? Do you see what they're working with? They are struggling, but they got to replace her with him because she's black and she's a woman, and you don't want to upset everybody who relied on your DEI hire.
You exist in the context.
We don't know the context.
All in which you live.
You hear that, baby? But drunk on in the context, baby. Let me say something. My mama used to say. My mama used to say, come on, baby, come on. My mama used to say, all I want is freedom. Oh, I'm sorry, baby, what was I saying? Oh, let me get back to the coconut. So you put the lion in the coconut and you drink it all up, baby. No, wait, what is that? No, the coconut fell out the tree. There you go. Now go play with your friends. So now here comes a drunk aunt out here talking about in context. And I'm going, what? I don't know what context you could put that in. A coconut fell out of a tree? What that got to do with me?
I love Venn diagrams, so I just do. Whenever you're dealing with conflict, pull out a Venn diagram, right? And so, you know, the three circles. And so I asked my team, right? They're fantastic. Think of
if this woman becomes the starter over the United States, we're done. Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I need asylum immediately. Yeah. So here she is on display. Now, if they hand over the reins to her, you do understand, I'm not even able to show all of the stupidity that came out of her mouth. Right now, I'm just, you know, for the sake of time, I'm just giving us a little snapshot of what's, you know, behind Joe Biden, what they have to rely on to take them across the finish line. All right. Now, can you imagine putting her up to bat? You think North Korea would respect her? You think Putin and all of them would respect her? Nobody would. We all know that it would be the same results as Joe. Number one, they got the same policies, same agenda. Yeah, that's the first thing. I'm like, you're not smart. You're not giving us anything different. You're selling us the same bag of goods. Number two, nobody respects you in your country, but definitely nobody respect her on the world stage, because they would be looking at her like a dingbat, an airhead, honestly. You know, when she went over to Europe and she's talking about I'm here in East, wait, is this East or West? I'm here somewhere. Nobody respects her. She reminds me of an airhead. Yep, so let's continue listening to the drunk aunt.
of it then in the context of, like, I like to think about a lot of things in the context of a Venn diagram. I love Venn diagrams. Always ask, is there a Venn diagram for this? I'm telling you about the significance of the passage of time.
Oh, I like this one.
Right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these.
What does the significance of the passage of time have to do with laying wires? She's used this whole analogy and statement in many applications, and it's always the significance of passage of time, baby, to lay the wires. The significance of passage of time to create school buses, the significance of a passage of time. And I'm going, what does, see, nobody asked her, what does these statements mean? She don't even know.
Jobs, and there is such great significance to the passage of time.
Not to mention, she ran that back constantly. How many times you got to say passage of time? Significance of the passage of time. Significant passage. Did you, when you think about the passage of time, the time that never, this is unbelievable that they got to go with this as a backup. Most likely, I'm saying. I mean, it would be some real finagling for them to bypass her and go with somebody else, because you already know they're talking about, wait a minute, you're not going to replace her with a white man, are you? Or even a white woman. This is how racist our country has become. They have reversed racism. And so now all of a sudden, you can't be replaced by somebody who's competent. Yeah, we need, a black woman for a black woman, bottom line, or we ain't happy. But the Democrats created this. They set themselves up for this expectation. So now let's see what's going on.
And on this July 3rd, we start with a Fox News alert. More than 24 House Republicans are reportedly preparing to write a letter to President Biden to end his re-election effort if he continues to be shaky. So
no, Republicans, what are y'all doing? Now, granted, I will say Biden's condition threatens the safety of the whole country. We all know it ain't him. But if it wasn't so close to the election, I might say, you know what? Yeah, get him out of here. Get him out of there. But it's too close to the election. So at this point, I'm like, do we want him to get out of there? I want to see them drag that Muppet across the finish line. That's what I want to see. I want to see this blowout. But nonetheless, even if he does step down, what's going to change with Kamala? If he suspends his campaign and they start focusing on Kamala and he takes a back seat, you think you're going to get any difference? Neither one of them would be making any decisions. You're not getting anything for your money, man. You think she's going to get in there calling shots? She don't know what the heck she's doing. So really, you're not getting anything except for a person who can speak a little bit. That's it. So, might as well go with the Muppet up front.
So this comes as a pair of congressional Democrats publicly declare they have no confidence in Biden's ability to win and serve another term.
The president may be in danger now of a widespread revolt among Democrats. Here's what Reuters is now reporting. There are 25 Democratic members of the House of Representatives preparing to call for Biden to step aside if he seems shaky in coming days, according to one House.
Just shaky in coming days? He was stable, stiff as a board the whole time, right? All of a sudden, recently, he just became shaky. Just recently, y'all. Y'all didn't see him shaking the whole time. Didn't see him shaking the whole time. Yeah, you're driving down the street and the car's like, yeah, you can't even talk. So, how was school today, son? But you just ignored it. You ignored the wheels wobbling the whole time. But now all of a sudden, out there, you know what? I'm going to give this car one day. Now, let's see. If it's still shaky today, I'm getting rid of it. It's been shaking for 8 months. Talking about something. If you're still shaky, these people crack me up. The unrealistic expectation. After seeing the level that he's on, do you really think he's going to pull this together? And it's sad to say that, this is a horrific disease, which I don't know exactly what is going on. I do know something's going on. And it's a cognitive disease that he suffered from. So, I'm going to go ahead out there and I'm going to say it. I think it's a cognitive disease that he's suffering from. Which one? Unsure. However, the sad reality is that you don't come back from that. You just don't. It gets worse. So what are they expecting out of this guy?
Democratic aid, there is reported.
He got two things going against him. Two things that you just can't come back from. Old age. You're not going to get any younger. That means, y'all, from the day we are born, we start dying. Them cells are splitting, and losing information. Yeah, man. You might think you all sweet and beautiful. You hit them 40s and those 50s. All of a sudden, your feet start tingling for no reason. You get up out the bed and can't just take off walking. You got to shuffle a little bit to get the circulation going. Yeah, you start noticing stuff like, well, what's going on with this hand? Yeah, it's numb. And things like that. Look in the mirror and you start seeing cracks and stuff. singing stuff like Dream On every time I look in the mirror. All these lines with my face getting clearer. Yeah, it happens to us all. You're not going to beat Father Time. The other one is when you unfortunately start suffering from this type of ailment. Those two together is a bad combination. And yet you got people still trying to pretend that we're going to give him a little more time to see if he improves. So what, is he going to get younger? And you think whatever he's suffering from going to get better? It's not.
A staff meeting at the White House is something of a morale booster. And later, the president today will meet with a group of Democratic governors, hoping to convince them that he is capable of serving as president and defeating former President Donald Trump in
I think the governors are going to meet with him because they already had a little secret phone call meeting, like, let's storm the White House. Go up in here and tell this dude, man, you better get out of here. So Creepy now got to come out and pull it together in front of them and pretend that he's okay. Probably reading off a teleprompter telling him that. I'm okay, end of quote. And I never felt better. Clap for that, you sons of bees. Interesting.
November. At the same time, there are some cracks now emerging in that wall of support that we have seen from elected Democrats after the president's disastrous debate performance last week.
Now, I wonder who cracked the wall. Because when it comes down to the Democrats, nobody steps out of line unless somebody tells them it's now okay. I mean, you saw what happened to Joe Scarborough. Yeah, he might have went a little too hard in on Creepy Sleepy, and for some reason, he had to go on an unplanned, which Mika told us it was a planned vacation. Yeah, I have an planned vacation that I had to go on after criticizing Joe too much. No, not with my wife, no. She's going to stay and clean up my mess and pretend to still be on board with Joe Biden until the Democrats say enough is enough. That's how they roll. So now all of a sudden, the dam has broken, but who took the sledgehammer to it?
Texas Congressman Lloyd Doggett, among those now openly talking about the party finding another candidate.
This needed to be a decision that was made much earlier in the process. But I remain hopeful that despite all the input from his own staff and perhaps from some family members, that he'll look at these numbers and realize that this is a hill just too high for him to climb and call on someone else.
I actually don't.
Yeah, just figuring that out, pal. It should have been done a long time ago. You don't say. You don't say. Should have never been done. That's the point. And they had an offering. They drug him through his first term, but then when they decided to make him run again is where they went wrong. They could have covered all of this up. They could have covered it up. We all knew that they installed him. We all knew that he was mentally incapable of doing the job. We all knew that somebody else was calling the shots. But instead of just counting their losses and saying, okay, we did it for the first 3 years, don't push it. He's getting worse. How about we just go ahead and tell him, just like you said, you were just going to be one and done. But somebody told Joe that he had the juice. Somebody got in his ear and was like, I think you could do it. I think you could do it. Who knows? Might have been Jill. Might have been the crackhead. It also could be self-preservation, because now that it looks like Trump is going to win, nobody knows what Trump is going to do when he get in office in regards to investigations. So, yeah, it might be like, we got to keep doing this because I need to get Hunter out of trouble. I got to stay in this race because I got to make sure that Trump don't get in and go after all of those documents that the FBI has covered up when it comes down to Joe Biden and Ukraine. Who knows what's motivating this dude? But whatever is motivating him, all of these same Democrats either had to be completely dumb and ignorant to what was going on and not watching anything on TV, or they all just assumed the people up in Washington will handle it. If it comes down to it, they'll rig it. We're just going to keep getting out there with our talking points is emailed to us and say, I stand by Joe Biden. I think he's capable. Look at all he's done. Look what all he's done for the American people. See, and now they're talking about this should have been done a long time ago.
Don't see a path now for President Biden to stay in this race in the long term. I believe that there are stronger options out there for Democrats. We have a stable of folks that I think could do a better job. I believe that another Democrat would have.
I believe I can fly, but I can't. See, that's the point. You can believe it if you want. I believe I could jump off this building and land on my feet. There you go. You could do that, but both legs would break and shoot right up into your torso. So yeah, give it a shot. So this guy, I believe we got more people out there, I believe.
Have a better shot at beating Trump.
So let's find out, what do Democrat voters think? What do they think, y'all? We already know now the groundwork is being laid to get rid of creepy. So now let's go to the streets real quick and see how some of their supporters are responding to the current events. And let's see also how people felt after that election. Because I told y'all last night I was going to show y'all some video footage of some people's reaction after hearing the debate. All right, let's see. Let's get into it.
It's the Wednesday morning farmers market in the liberal enclave of Alexandria in Virginia, a state Joe Biden carried by 10 points in 2020, so this should be easy pickings. But after his disastrous debate performance last week, even these die-hard Democrats are in crisis mode.
I just think he just needs to kind of go away. We're all very unsettled, uncomfortable, not sure what's going on.
Oh, snap. They feeling like Joe is a bugaboo? Get out of here, Joe. As the trumpet man plays, they're talking about, just go away. You know what? You're a bugaboo now. You're a pain in our butt.
Well, it's some obvious things going on with him. His speech is slurred, whether he even understood. He sort of faded out when he was answering. It was pretty bad.
No, it was pretty bad. And the crazy part about this is the Democrats knew this leading all the way up to this. And they lied to you. They lied to you. This is a deep Democrat area right here. These folks should be coming out saying, I don't care what Joe said or did, we love him.
Do you think Joe Biden is up for it?
Sadly, I think not. And I think there should be a change. The question is who?
So you were a fan, are a fan?
Absolutely. I would never vote for Trump.
You don't think?
Now we're about to go into how dumb humans are. This is where I start losing faith in the human species right here. This is where I say, wow, maybe the herd needs to move on from those that can't walk and stuff like that. I'm going, are you kidding me? This is what we're talking about. This is the big danger of allowing everybody to vote.
That Biden can beat him.
I don't think he's in a condition to continue.
I don't think he's in a condition to continue, but I will vote for him over Trump.
Biden's line at a campaign event last night was that he was just exhausted last Thursday, almost fell asleep on the stage, he joked, because of a demanding travel schedule in the weeks leading up to his big set two with Donald Trump.
Dealing with everything we have to do with,
Today, the crisis engulfing the president has intensified. The White House has been forced to hold an emergency conference call with staff in a bid to steady the ship. Meanwhile, a source inside the administration told the New York Times that Joe Biden has privately conceded that the next few days will be critical if he's to salvage his imploding campaign.
Ooh. So, y'all, we might be hearing some breaking news because now he got him an interview coming up with George Snuffleupagus. I wonder what he's going to say. I'm wondering what took place in this meeting. I'm wondering if they went in there and said, listen here, man. Okay, you want us to release all this information on Hunter Biden here? You want us to? Because we can do that. Now, either we're going to do that or you're going to step down. Who knows? Who knows? They could have went in there and said, hey, look, that audio tape that the FBI has buried and of you on the phone, now you want us to go ahead and leak that to the... So you're going to step down. Who knows what they might have said to Joe Biden. So we're going to see. Either he's going to come out on that show and he's going to say, look, I'm sharp as a tack. Or he's going to come out on that show and say, I'm stepping down. And watch the crap storm just start rolling in.
And convince America that he's up to the job.
Within the last hour, the White House has insisted Biden's going nowhere.
Is President Biden considering stepping down?
Absolutely not.
Until he does. See, absolutely not. Now, when you say absolutely not, you're leaving no room for an alternative result. Absolutely not. Now, I wonder what she's going to say if they muscle him into doing it during that interview or whenever. Is she going to come out and say, well, I thought that what does it? Now, are you not communicating with the president? Is he not in charge of his own brain? If he told you absolutely not, then that's what he should be meaning. There should be no debate about it. There should be no reversal. So I'm expecting, based on what she just said, that Joe's not going anywhere. That's what I'm expecting. I'm going to take her word for it. But we'll see. Let's go.
He understands that it is fair for people to ask that question. But we cannot forget his record and what he's been able to do.
Focus on his record.
Overnight, small yet visible cracks have begun to appear in the line of defense.
And joining me now, we're pleased to have Speaker Emerita.
Oh, here's the crack. You know who got the ability to drop a crack? And that is Nasty Pelosi. Her and Obama are the ones. So now here she is, the nastiest of them all. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the nastiest of them all? Oh, mirror, you flatter me. Oh, now, stay right there, mirror, while I take my medicine. Oh, that's good, Nasty. That's good. Now, let's get on with this. Listen here, you peasant. Don't ask me anything difficult, okay? Because I'll put this paw right up your butt. So let's continue here, Nasty Pelosi. Go ahead and go from saying Joe is the best. He's smart. Every time I meet with him, he's on top of things. She's going to go from that to this.
Nancy Pelosi joining us.
This from one of Biden's closest allies, questioning his dire performance.
I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition?
Now, why do you think I just said that? It's because I'm the one who took that sledgehammer and cracked the wall. That's what it was me, Nasty. I'm behind all of the nastiness. You know that, right? So now here she is talking about Joe. I'm just saying. I mean, look, it's a good now. Before they would have been like, "Why are you even questioning this man?" I mean, this is ridiculous. No, Joe's not suffering from anything. But now she leaves the door open to question if it's a condition or just an episode. Now, you know, Nasty is strategic with her nastiness, so she ain't gonna just come out and say that. Because she don't even want to open up the door for people to think that if that wasn't the direction that the Democrats wanted to go in. She would have denied that. She would have pivoted from that. She would have never said it. So it sounds like she's the one behind the crack in the dam.
And so when people ask that question, it's completely legitimate.
While Congressman Jim Clyburn, a long-time Biden confidant, appeared to query the president's mental faculties.
I'll have to wait on the experts in medicine to give their opinion because I'm not a doctor, so I don't have no.
I'm not a doctor. So you're telling me you don't have common sense, Clyburn? Huh, Clyburn? So Clyburn is talking about I'm going to have to wait on the experts to give their opinion. Now, I'm thinking I don't have to do that. There's enough evidence my eyes observed that I can call it. I'm able to call it just from an eyeball. I'm able to eyeball it. There it is. Forget it. I ain't got time to aim. I'm going to eyeball it. And I'm pretty sure I'm right on target when I saw Joe fall up the steps 3 times. Yeah, I'm just eyeballing it. That's all I'm doing. Unbelievable. This guy, I need to wait on the experts. All the experts are going to do is tell us what type of disease he's suffering from. Because you can't tell me he's not suffering from some mental disease. You're talking about wait on the experts.
No idea the extent to which all of this may have occurred. But when you are 81 years old, you are not as nimble as you...
Not as nimble. Oh, Clyburn. When you're 81 years old, you're not as nimble. Now, we're not talking about being nimble, even though he's very stiff. He is not nimble at all. That guy right there. He's coming out like oil can. Oh, oil. I need some oil. So that guy's coming out like the Tin Man. But yeah, we're not necessarily focused on that, Clyburn. Yeah, we're talking about being nimble. Okay, what do you want him to come out stretching? No, we're talking about mentally, man.
You are at 21.
But we did find some voters sticking up for Joe Biden.
One? Hold on, wait. You telling me you found one? This right here is where the experiment starts. Let me go get my lab coat. And take some notes. You're telling me you found an actual supporter after seeing that debate? Let's see, y'all, because this is rare. This is like finding some type of leprechaun. Here we go.
Including this 94-year-old working lawyer.
94? Now, the sad part about it is this 94-year-old sounds better than Joe, even though she's kooky.
Who says the panic is overbaked and people should give the president a chance.
He was just tired. They should have taken him and Camp Davis and give him massages and jacuzzis. And
jacuzzis? He was just tired. They should have taken him to Camp Davis and given him massages and jacuzzis. That would have solved it. Now this is what I call some coke. Now this lady is still practicing law. What are you talking about? A practicing lawyer. You're 94. Go somewhere and sit down. Go somewhere. Go now. Go on now. But here she is. He's tired.
Good food and drink. And then put him on instead of...
You did have a week there before.
Yeah. But why fill that guy up with statistics?
Why fill that guy up with the statistics? Why would you have this guy come out and support his arguments with real stats and data? That's not needed. We're Democrat voters. We don't need no hardcore facts. We don't need statistics. We don't need you to back up anything with proof. We just believe in you guys because you're Democrats. We don't need y'all to even be able to talk or put together coherent sentences. That's not a requirement for a Democrat voter.
Speaking of statistics, a fresh poll today in the New York Times says Donald Trump is now 6 points ahead of Biden, a 3-point swing in the space of a week.
I'll play to that. I play to that all day long, man. So he's getting his butt beat. Yeah, we got to play some taps.
A week that Joe Biden wants voters and his own team to dismiss as a blip, while they increasingly appear to see it as anything but.
Yeah, they're blinded. Now to the streets. Here's the pre-debate, y'all. Remember that young man I featured a couple live streams ago where people were talking about who they thought was going to win the debate? Well, he's back. He waited until after the debate and then he started interviewing some people. So just real quick, a couple quick people before the debate, and then let's see how they responded after.
And what can we expect from you tonight?
Oh, this guy's funny.
Oh, what you can expect is that the floor is going to be wiped with Sleepy Joe's face. It's going to be a huge mess. It's going to look like elder abuse, but I can make that joke because he's only 3 years older than I am, believe me.
That was a beautiful impression, and it's funny because it's true. Wait, let's hear this guy again. He's young too, man. Oh, yeah. I love when they do the Donald Trump impressions. Here we go, y'all.
Yeah. And what can we expect from you tonight in the debate?
Oh, what you can expect is that the floor is going to be wiped with Sleepy Joe's face. It's going to be a huge mess. It's going to look like elder abuse, but I can make that joke because he's only 3 years older than I am, believe me.
Believe me, the hand and everything. So let's see if that came true, fake Donald Trump.
Why do you like Joe Biden?
Because he has much better policies for people in the climate.
Why do
you hear that? You see stuff like this. These are Democrat voters. These are their priorities because he has much stuff, better stuff for everybody in the climate. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, that the country need to be divided between the common sensors and the nonsensicals. There you go. We're playing for Team Common Sense, and you're talking about better stuff for the environment. Joe don't even know what environment he's in. You're talking he got better stuff than the environment.
Like Joe Biden?
I think he does exactly what he says he's going to do. He's delivered countless times, and he's the best candidate that's on the ballot for us.
Do you hear this, man? You hear the high pitch I had to go up and what? This dude, he delivered for everything. I'm going, what are you looking at? What are you observing? I need to know, man. Like, I really want to follow these people around and take notes. Like, okay, he's over there watching the TV now. I want to be inconspicuous. I don't want him to know I'm watching him. Okay. So it looks like he's watching the same videos and stuff that I'm watching, but he's coming to different conclusions. Subject seems to not be able to function in reality. No context clues. I got to take notes on these people. Where they coming from?
It's going to be a phenomenal debate tonight, and we got, what, 2 more after this?
A phenomenal debate tonight. We got 2 more after this. Do you?
This is going to keep on knocking out the park. As you can see, people out here are going to be voting for Biden come November, and we're just waiting for it. I think he's going to talk about the accomplishments he's done. He's going to show strength that he was out here able to get up on the stand and compete with one of the worst liars in America.
Waka, waka, waka. Oh, yeah. Waka, waka, waka. This guy right there, I would love to find him. I don't think he was able to track him down right there. He wasn't able to find Bookman after the debate to say, did he show strength? Did he step up to the plate? Do you think he's ready for round 2? You know, if the Democrats they would have thrown the towel in. Round 1, soon as Joe opened up, good evening, everybody. He wouldn't even get a chance to throw a punch. Soon as he opened his mouth and sounded like he had a porcupine down his throat, you know the Democrats wanted to throw the towel in. This guy's talking about that. Get ready for round 2.
And he's going to show us why he should be getting another term.
Well, let's go to post-debate.
Debate's not over yet, but so far, what have you seen?
It's been pretty scary. So Joe is looking sleepy, and Trump is looking like he normally do.
Trump's looking pretty sharp right now.
Now, see, this is what really burns me up, guys. When you hear people identify the obvious and you start thinking, okay, you're perceiving things correctly. This subject right here seems to be able to assess the current event accurately. And then after doing that, their conclusion is totally opposite from everything they observed. They will even acknowledge that I'm looking right there at the lion's den. They look very big and angry. They have large teeth. They've been known to attack people and rip them to pieces. But in conclusion, I'm jumping in there. That's the stuff that I say, something's not lining up. So let's hear this lady identify the danger and then say, but I'm going to walk right into it.
Yes, he is. That's what I'm talking about.
What do you think about the line when Donald Trump said, I didn't think Joe know what he just said?
I think he's corrected what he said, unfortunately.
And more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of the sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
It's a scary situation. Trump look like he's getting the upper hand. Don't want to admit it, but it is what it is.
And before the debate, who did you want to win?
I'm gonna always be a Democratic because I'm doing the whole straight up and down thing, voting with what my community is. So even
that's why I lose faith in humanity. I feel like we are an alien species. I feel like Republican or conservatives have evolved. We're the next link in the evolutionary chain. And I'm listening to these people and I'm going, oh man. You just destroyed your whole argument. You straight up was evaluating this logically, and you conclude, I'm going to still roll with the Democrat Party. These are the same Democrats who lied to you about the condition of the man you're criticizing. Unreal. If they're willing to gaslight their voters and get them to the point where they're surprised on game day, unbelievable. These are the same people who got all the way to the game. They came in with the popcorn. Now we're going to see the game. We're going to see. Yeah. Did you hear all of this, the information? They were telling us how this guy's, he's great. He's going to be a great player. We're excited about today's game. And they get in there and this dude stinks that bad. She comes out of the game going, man, I can't believe that dude stunk. He's horrible, man. This and that. But you know what, though? And I'm saying, you got to be kidding me. So just because she's just a Democrat, she's going with the Democrats. They line up with whatever I believe in.
Even though it is what it is, I wouldn't go any other way but Democrat.
So you're done. Stick a fork in her. She belongs to stupidity. Right now, this is one we're going to put in the can't be salvaged pile. Okay? Can't be salvaged. This is one of those perfect Democrat voters. They want to get you to the point where you can sit back and defy your own logic. I don't care how bad the Democrats are. I don't care how many times they lied to us. I don't care how many times their policies destroy us and set us back. And I don't care about how many times. I'm still rolling with them. Thank you. You're exactly the go-getters we're looking for. Now go over there. Go over there. So let's continue with our evaluation.
And even if Joe Biden does perform horribly tonight, you're still going to keep voting for him?
Yeah.
I'm still going to keep voting.
Holy
What do you think, Joe?
You see what I'm talking about? See? And the young kid is pretending to be neutral, but I know he's not. So he's asking key questions to reveal how illogical these people are. So wait. After seeing how poorly he performed tonight, all of these questions are key questions to test their reasoning skills, how they come to these conclusions. He just laid it out. Even though all of these things you just witnessed, you're still voting for. I'm still voting for him. So put her over in that category.
Joe Biden's thinking right now.
You know what? I don't know if Joe Biden knows what he is thinking. I just wish him well.
So far.
Now, why are conservatives just so much better at this? We don't just love Trump just because he's Trump. I mean, it would have been way easier to support another Republican when Trump ran the first time, because I wouldn't have been called a sellout and Uncle Tom and all of this stuff. You can't just be a Republican and I say, I'm going to support you just because you're a Republican. At least we have a decent balance. We can determine that we have rhinos that we wouldn't support. We got MAGA Republicans that we would. If Trump's policies didn't line up with my conservative beliefs, I would be like, we need another candidate. I would have sniffed that out a long time ago. And yet these people, I mean, if Trump was in the condition that Biden was in, I would be going, yeah, he might have been great in his heyday, but he's blew out right now. We need somebody. They don't even think like that. Just straight up, I don't care. He can come out with one brain cell. I don't care if somebody else is running the country. I don't care if I vote for him and I'm not really voting for him because he can't function. And I have no idea who I'm really voting for, but I just know I'm voting for the Democrats.
With the debate, what have you been seeing?
I've been seeing a debate between our two candidates, hearing some interesting responses.
And with what you saw in the debate, who aligns more with your policies? Who will you be voting for?
Yeah, I will be voting for Joe Biden, yes.
Jeez. Another one bites the dust. Do-do-do-do-do. Another one bites the dust. Do-do-do-do-do. Another lid bites the dust, and another one's gone, and another one's gone. Another lid bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another lid bites the dust. Doom, 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 doom. So now here she is biting the dust, talking about some I'm kind of vote with Joe Biden.
I feel like he aligns with the strategic and structural change that I want to see.
What is that? What structural change is different? How do you know what he aligns with? He couldn't articulate it. And you're talking about here, he aligns with the strategic structural thing. He don't even know what he aligns with. And you're just sitting up there saying stuff.
See it from him, so that is where I will be aligning my vote.
Even with his performance here in the debate, you're still going to be voting for him?
Even with my performance, I'm aware.
Even with my performance, I'm aware. Yeah, because your performance right now, toots, stinks. I'm listening to you and I'm going, man, all logic out the window. All reasoning out the window. Now, the reason that my performance
of different impediments that he has going on, but I don't think that doesn't make him incapable of.
What the heck? Almost cussed. Even in spite of the impediments that he has going on, I don't think it makes him. And I'm going
of doing the job.
Okay. Do you understand how irrational this thought is? That attitude, that approach is. She's not even applying this to real life. You own a football team, and a guy comes out for the team to play running back, and he has a peg leg, full-blown wooden leg. And you're going, even though in spite of his impediments, I still think he'll make a good certain things you have to do certain jobs. Unbelievable. All right, my accountant, he can't do math. He's horrible at it. He flunked it, but that's just an impediment. He's more of a a creative thinker, not a logical thinker. So, but I'm not going to judge him by that. Go ahead, do my taxes. You know how stupid this girl sounds. So now that means then, if his impediment prevents him from doing the job, then the obvious question should be, well, who would be really doing the job? That would be the next question. But she says it won't stop him from doing the job.
Upcoming term.
With what you've seen so far in the...
I mean, I need to get this.
I don't think that
I need to get this young girl under my wing and be like, come here, sis. You look about maybe 24. I'm gonna cut you some slack. You're probably a young gal who just ain't thinking critically yet. But this is fascinating that you would make this statement and not think it through. Even though he can't talk, read, can't walk, they can barely breathe, he got to come down steps with Jill holding his arm, I'm still going to vote for him because that's not a factor.
That make him incapable of doing the job this upcoming term.
With what you've seen so far in the debate, who's walking away the winner?
I'll say former President Trump is. He's clearly taking it so far right now.
And just based off the facial expressions that you can see through this window that we've been seeing here on the screen, who is being the alpha male?
Now see, this is where, in our experiment, we can tell who has good observational skills. See, now, if I'm there and I'm watching those two with the volume down, I'm able to still conclude, hey, something's wrong with that guy on the right. He looks special. His facial expressions, his reactions. Yeah, I don't need to hear it. That's how bad Joe is. He's to the point where you can observe his body language and tell something's not right. When I saw him walking around on stage, when I see his hands sitting like this, when I see the way he walks, his gait, all of these are context clues. So I don't need to hear anything that comes out of his mouth to tell that guy's blew out. So this guy seems to have some good observational skills.
Kind of really no alpha in the situation. It's more like false confidence, or
who is showing the most confidence?
More confidence with former President Trump, but current President Biden, he's not really in there. His mind's not there. Like he's not. It's not a real person really kind of in there
right now.
Okay. So somebody had a little bit of reasoning, some logic here. He got it right. He got past and put him over there. He put him in a potential category right there. Now, let's go to this sister. Let's see how she feels about this. Same question.
You guys are watching the debate here inside this bar. Just off the facial expressions, who do you think's winning?
Off the facial expressions, I will say Biden looks a little bit more focused.
I love this guy's subtle sarcasm. You see him like, okay. Looked over at the camera like, are you hearing this? Are you getting this? Is it rolling? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're going viral with this chick. So let me hear that again. Based on the
Who do you think's winning?
Off the facial expressions, I will say Biden looks a little bit more focused.
I could never roll with her. She wouldn't be able to identify a dangerous situation. Wouldn't be able to identify. We're rolling through the hood. There's a whole gang of young boys on the corner, pants sagging, tatted up, swagging back and forth, seeing guns sticking down their pants. And she's like, hon, pull over here and ask for directions. No, in fact, roll them up. Let's keep going. I'd rather be lost than to pull over and ask those guys everything out there. Call it stereotyping or not. I'm talking about because I grew up in the hood. Trust me, black folks roll up their windows in the hood, and it ain't because of white nationalists. If you got observational skills, you're going, I love my peoples, but that situation over there looks potentially dangerous. She would be the one that would totally misinterpret that. So you're telling me you're looking at Joe Biden and you're going, he looks more focused.
Biden looks a little bit more focused.
The heck?
Trump seems like he
Look at that.
Looks a little bit confused.
Oh my God. Where do you get these people from? All right, the subject seems to not be able to identify the scenarios accurately. Her context clues are all off. We're going to go ahead and put her in the brain damage category over there. You go over there. Go over there. All right, let's continue with our observation.
And that's as far as I can tell for now.
The debate is over. Who won the debate?
It was an interesting debate. Trump might have been a little bit more eloquent with his wording. Biden's had a little bit of a bad stint with that. I think Trump might have handled the debate better.
So are you saying Donald Trump won?
I don't want to
see. Once again, liberal logic. This is the Dane Bramage these people are suffering from. So that man started off good. Trump seemed to handle a little better. Biden looks a little this and that, but he just can't get over the hump. Got to get over the hump, bruh. So now he can't come straight out and say, even after what I just said, I'm not going to give the victory to Trump.
Say that.
But did he?
From what I could see, that's a tough answer. I couldn't say either one won.
Oh, God. So from what I can see, so wait a minute. After all you just told this dude, and now all of a sudden, for what I can see, after everything I just said, I'm just going to say it's a tie. This is how you cope. This is how you work hard to be stupid. That man just said, I'm going to go ahead and conflict with my observation up front. Trump seems to be ahead. Trump's doing this. Trump's doing it. He seems to be better. Biden seems to be, but I think it's a tie.
Both were a little bit rough around the edges. So
who do you think won the debate today?
That's hard. I definitely got to go back and watch clips. But regardless of the debate, I think this nation needs to vote strategic, and it shouldn't just be off of this debate.
Now, see, once again, you know what? I got to go back and watch it. That's hard. You know what? But I think we need to vote strategic, not just off of this debate that I just watched. So being strategic to me would be watching my candidate and seeing if he can talk, walk, if he could communicate his thoughts and his ideas properly, his policies, if he could respond properly. These are things that would help me vote strategically, but you're saying that's not even important. These things aren't even important. I'm going to vote strategically, even though the person I'm going to vote for might not even be capable of running the whole country. But here she is trying to talk about we need to vote strategically.
No, it's a hard choice to make, but we have to look at what we're really facing.
Yeah, what are we facing?
Definitely, regardless of what.
You ready for the Democrats? You ready for the Democrats to start speaking through her? See, because this is what we're facing.
People think won the debate. I think we definitely need to vote strategic this year.
And strategically thinking, who are you going to be voting for?
I'd be voting for Biden. I'd be the first to say like he isn't my
Pac-Man just got eaten. I need another man. That just got killed. So now here she is. I'll be voting for Biden strategically.
A perfect candidate, right? But we also don't live in a perfect world. I think voting, especially for me and people like me, is kind of a duty.
Nah, your duty's done. You're relieved, soldier. You did good. You did good. Go home. Go home. You got to be kidding me. Here she is. I'm going to vote strategically for Biden, who can't think, tore up the whole country just because I'm a Democrat. So here comes the results of these people who can't think rationally, suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. And we all know where it stems from. When you hear her excuses and the things that she feels are important when voting.
We have to fight for the right, and in that sense, I definitely am, like I said before, going to vote strategic, and that's why Biden would be getting my vote. My fear is Trump getting elected and stacking the Supreme Court.
Stacking the court.
All of the damage that can do.
Trump getting elected and stacking the Supreme Court. See, now you see where the TDS is coming from? All this girl is doing is showing the symptoms of the disease. Yeah, they infected her with all of this nonsense, and now it's all coming out. So now the Trump's going to stack the courts, and I'm thinking, isn't it the Democrats that's talking about packing the courts? I mean, the last I checked is like, all right, we need to tear down the Supreme Court. You know what? It's gone rogue. We need to go ahead and stack the courts and put more. But here she is, regurgitating what the disease demands her to regurgitate.
Dude, that can literally take us back decades.
Is there anything Donald Trump can do?
That can literally take us back decades. And you're about to hear one of the people who are responsible for the infection in a second.
Due to win your support in these upcoming debates and this upcoming time we have before the elections?
No, I think he's very character flawed.
Who won the debate?
Being completely honest, I mean, we already know what both candidates stands for. So they're pretty much sticking to their talking points. So I don't know if really there's a winner because it really all depends on who you want to vote for.
Was there anybody who stood on business more than the other?
I mean, like I said, they both pretty much stayed true to their platform. So because they're already so polarized to begin with, it's not. Nobody said anything that made me feel any different. I was a little surprised by President Biden. He seemed a little bit more aggressive in terms of coming after former President Trump on some of the recent, felonies and all that good stuff.
Why were you surprised by that? That's all he had. I knew that was coming. You think he was going to come in and go hard on his policies? And touting those, and I got the most secure border ever. And you know what? There's no wars on my watch. And you think he's gonna come in with that? I knew he's gonna come in. You know what? You're a felon, and all the women you slept with, and your moral character, and you're a white nationalist. I'm surprised he said anything else but those things. And here this guy's, I'm a little surprised that he came in and went hard on that. That's all he had. But then we're gonna find out what motivates this guy to go ahead and vote for Biden based on the industry that he's in.
But outside of that, they're just pretty much sticking to talking points.
Who are you going to be voting for in 2024?
Like I tell people all the time, I am a social worker and a mental...
Social worker. There it is. Mental health. The stuff that the Democrats really talk about all the time because they can push all kind of agendas through these agencies, social work, and the justification of this and all that, discrimination and the social workers are fillers. They're fillers.
As a health professional by trade, regardless of party affiliation, I find that the work that I do tends to be funded more under Democratic presidencies.
Who won the debate?
Who won the debate?
Yeah,
my honest opinion, I guess Trump let him have it a little bit.
I guess Trump let him have it.
Yeah, Trump let him have it.
He doesn't or does?
Letting Biden have it, so Trump is winning.
Now y'all hear Ziggy Marley? Ziggy yeah, boy, I feel the Trump. He gave it to him, boy. So there you have it. Ziggy spoke.
Okay, would you say Donald Trump was standing on business?
Not really, but he's standing more on business than Biden.
Is there anything they could say here in one of these debates to potentially sway you to move from left to right or right to left?
Nothing they really can say. They just gonna have to do more action. They gonna have to, do something, not say something.
And who won the debate tonight, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
I feel like Donald Trump was more coherent, and Joe Biden, I feel like, made more points that were relevant to the questions that were asked. I can't really say who won so far.
At the end of the day, who do you think won the...
Can we get a good one? Right now, almost every one of the folks during our experiment is over on that side right there. Yeah, we got a couple in the middle. Let's see if we can get a good one, guys.
The debate, Donald Trump or Joe Biden, who looked better?
Trump definitely looked better. Definitely won the debate. I was surprised this debate would even happen. I've never heard Joe Biden complete a sentence, but...
Subject seems to be accurately assessing the scenario. The subject also seems to be conscious and able to speak eloquently about politics. Let's continue.
He actually did better than I expected.
Joe Biden took a week off of presidential duties to prepare for the debate. Could you see that in this debate?
Subject is thinking very intensely to the question prior to answering. We can tell by the intense look on his face right now. Let's see.
Debate? No, Joe just kept lying. Trump said something, and I was like, okay, this is going to be really interesting to come back at. And he just literally either didn't answer it or just lied. It didn't.
Subject is, I'm getting excited, able to identify lies coming out of creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. Let's continue.
I feel like a debate.
So what percentage of truth do you think came out of Joe Biden's mouth tonight?
There was some truth, just easy questions, but the actual questions I wanted to answer.
Yeah, it was some truth. Easy questions all right, Joe, are you alive? Yeah, I think so. Okay, now, if you're not alive, you'll let us know, won't you? Absolutely. All right there, Joe. Okay, Joe, can you go ahead and just kind of move back and forth to show us that you're still with us? Okay, I can do that. You mean little questions like that? Anything this intense, he wasn't able to do it. So this guy right here he's restoring my faith, y'all, in humanity. Or could it be he evolved too? Maybe he's a part of the evolutionary chain right here. Because this guy right here is saying what I was thinking.
Answers. For example, Trump kept talking about the border crisis. I'm like, that's a really good objective thing to have a response to. It's horrible. I was pretty frustrated at the end.
Does Joe Biden really have any way to defend himself with the border crisis?
No, like not at all. It didn't seem like a debate. It seemed like Biden thought we were stupid. Biden was a mess today. Did you see the debate?
Yeah, I watched it.
It was such an embarrassment. Like anyone that actually would be pro-Biden at this point, I'd be very curious to hear what their argument is.
Thank you. Now, did y'all hear that? We had to end with somebody who was able to put that mess together accurately. And now you see how all of us, that guy, he reflected how so many conservatives look at what these people are talking about and what they're doing, and we marvel. They don't realize how conservatives observe them and say, how did you get here? It's not a feeling of arrogance per se. I'm really curious about what goes on in one's brain to misinterpret the current political environment. So when we look at them, I'm like, no, I really want to know. I was talking to a young lady the other day, and she was like, Biden now, gave me all of that. Friend of the family's, younger, daughter of one of my friends. And I was like, okay, honestly, I really want to know why you hate Trump. I do. I really want to know. I want to know how you went through a series of thinking and observation of what's going on to get to where you're at. Because I can't help you if I don't know how you got there. And of course, when she started telling me all the things that made her feel this way, all she did is simply went down the list of the symptoms of Trump derangement syndrome that every one of them are suffering from, injected into them by people like who you're about to hear. Because, see, these are the results. See, these are the people who inject people with this. But then when you hear them say things like this in public, you say, okay, I see where it came from now. I see who's the people who are injecting the disease into these folks. And here's one of them.
They just said he could be
a bunch of them, actually. These are a bunch of them. We're going to get to the major one in the end. Now, look at all these people. Trump is kings. He's a king now. You see, these are things that you will hear come out of the mouths of people walking around the street. I'm going to vote for Trump because they're trying to make him a king. Listen to these people injecting. They're just shooting out Trump derangement syndrome all over the place because they're swearing up and down now Trump's going to be a king. So don't pay attention to Biden.
They're never going to tell him no.
This is not America. If you want to make America great again, you got to return to the rule of law. This decision today, unfortunately, is a blueprint on how to end the rule of law.
The Chief Justice says, and I read this in the last hour, that this is a chilling doom scenario that the dissenters are making, wholly disproportionate to what the court actually did today. And what assurance does anyone in America have that Supreme Court would ever tell this man no?
Basically, what you have here
is a rat on a network talking that shouldn't even be on TV. A dirty, stinking rat who tried to overthrow Trump's presidency, but here he is. Basically, what you have here. Y'all hear all this propaganda? So guess what, y'all? Don't focus on Joe and his raggedy performance and the fact that they're trying to get rid of him now. Now we're going to shift and focus on the hyperbole over the Supreme Court's ruling. We're going to shift it back now to Trump is about to become a king, all powerful, and he has a license to ill. Listen to this guy right here.
Is the Supreme Court imposing its judgment that principle that we must have bold and decisive presidents is more important than the principle that Justice Sotomayor is advancing, which is we should have presidents who obey the law.
Yeah.
It's going to take a very long time for us to digest what this actually means.
I think politically,
here's a big baby on the bus right there. He needs a pat on the back. There we go. Let's hear Van Jones.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It makes the Supreme Court look very partisan. They're supposed to be wearing these kind of black and white umpire jerseys or whatever. They look like they're wearing the MAGA hats.
What? Listen to all these people undermine our judicial system. Look at all these people undermining the ruling of they don't respect it. They don't respect our court.
Well, it's deeply disheartening, and there's really nobody who could claim that our founders, the people who wrote our constitutions, wanted a president to have this kind of power.
Yeah. This is a real test. I'm concerned. It's a real test. If you have someone in office who has no respect for the law, no respect for Republican virtues.
Who is he referring to? Joe Biden? Is he referring to that guy? Sounds like he's describing Joe. So Joe should be happy that the Supreme Court has ruled like this. Now, if the Supreme Court would have been making this decision and it would perhaps decide whether maybe Obama would have immunity based on the folks that he killed without a trial, the Americans, or, Bush or Clinton or even Creepy, they would all be saying that the Supreme Court definitely got it right. The Republicans wanted, but now because it's Trump, they're pretending to act like, oh, we're just trying to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law. Really, they're mad because the Supreme Court is foiling their plans to overthrow Trump through lawfare. That's what they're mad about. So here they are pretending they're trying to protect the Constitution. And it's the Supreme Court, thank God, we have more conservatives on it that recognizes the diabolical scheme that the left is up to. Yeah, they're planning to use lawfare. They've been using it, but you best believe if they get away with this, they will use lawfare through every election moving forward. And the Supreme Court has enough conservative justices to see the writing on the wall. And they're mad about it. Yeah, they want to get their hands on that Supreme Court big time. So they're willing to demonize them, run them through the mud, say that they're now setting themselves up as kings and queens. Listen to all of the demonization about the Supreme Court that these folks are dropping out there. But you can't say nothing about Judge Merchan.
No respect for the Constitution, no respect for norms. And then you have a Supreme Court that says, well, you know what? We've never before had to look at whether you can commit crimes. The Supreme Court says there's some crimes you can commit.
So what he's saying is Trump has no respect for the law, no respect for that. And the Supreme Court saying you can commit some crimes. That is not what they're saying. See, this is what I mean. When you hear these people, they're just simply injecting Trump derangement syndrome in people. These are folks that'll be walking around saying he's packing the courts and he's going to become a king and this and that. When I see people on the streets regurgitate this mess, now I know where the disease comes from. If you're going to eradicate a disease, you got to go to the source. You got to figure out where it's coming from. You can't just see folks walking around with the symptoms and say, we got to find out where ground zero is. Now we're finding out where ground zero is. It's coming out of all of these people.
That's scary, man.
Scary, man.
I've never seen you this emotional. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's so scary.
It's a big step forward to having an authoritarian president. And I find it a sad moment that our Supreme Court came down with this ruling.
Yeah, because it messed up our plans to stop Trump. Now we got to rely on creepy, sleepy, or even worse, cackling Kamala Harris. Man, we had put it all together, and then the Supreme Court had to step in and do the right thing.
The Supreme Court is functioning, and it is basically giving a green light for criminal activity in the Oval Office under certain circumstances, which I think, given the present state of our country, is very, very scary.
Stop it. No, what you think is that it is only going to benefit Trump, and you're mad about that. What you think is, oh, shoot, I'm seeing the writing on the wall. Trump might win and get back in. And now all of a sudden, we can't use lawfare to stop him. So I'm whining about it. That's what he's thinking.
I mean, sad day. It's 5-alarm fire. I mean, when you read Sonia Sotomayor's dissent, and she says President could have SEAL Team 6 kill.
Yeah, President could have SEAL Team 6 kill somebody and all that stuff, right? You mean like Baghdadi, perhaps? Maybe that, because that's a good thing, right? It's the only people that Trump was trying to kill. Now, all of this stuff that they're talking about is garbage. Trump didn't do any of these things during his first presidency, and I'm sure he won't do any of these things moving forward. It is them just going with this narrative, number one, to take away from how horrible Joe is, and number two, to further injecting people with more Trump derangement syndrome. They ain't trumped up enough. They ain't got enough TDS. So let's go ahead and alter the virus. Let's go ahead and add something to the virus, something stupid Like now all of a sudden Trump's a king because the Supreme Court ruled him to be a king. He's above the law. And then you have one of the biggest people out there, one of the biggest carriers of the disease who's infecting everybody coming up.
This election is no longer about
We're going to end with this. Oh, y'all see that? It looked like she's looking into a Christmas bulb. Y'all see that big nose up front? No makeup for you, joyless Reid? You mean to tell me you did a video from the crib, not the studio? You need the studio makeup. What are you doing? But nonetheless, I'm going to close one eyeball and work through this because now we're seeing where the TDS comes from. Listen to this rant that this chick is dropping out there.
the old guy that's in the White House now. Like, you know, all the op-ed pages and the New York Times can run around and opine about, you know, what Joe Biden should do.
And I just realized one of her bottom teeth is running away. Look like it's falling out. They ain't gonna, you don't want to get that close up on the screen with that bottom tooth, seem like it's falling out. But nonetheless, here she is up there showing it all to us up front. So here she's talking about white man in the White House and all of that stuff. And now how can somebody this racist be on TV in modern society? This woman is a full-blown racist. And she's always talking about white this, white that, white, and work with white people, for white people. They must have a greater use for her. Because I'm thinking, if I was a white man, a white owner of a business, and one of the people who work for me is constantly talking about white man, white this, white that, I would be going, wait a minute, I'm white. I'm not going to sit here and employ you to get out here and just be racist unless they're using her for a purpose. So now let's get into it because she's going to bring up race and all of this other stuff, and Trump's a king and he's about to kill everything.
You know, y'all have fun with that. Enjoy yourselves, okay. Intellectual thought leaders.
Thought leaders.
I no longer care. Doesn't matter to me anymore.
That truth is distracting me.
It's above me now. It's above me now. There's a Waffle House next door. There's a Mass Western next door as well.
What does that mean? What does that
It's above me now. It's above Joe Biden now. Don't care about Joe Biden's age, infirmity, that he shuffled when he walked. I don't care.
You don't? So now you see where they're going with this? We don't want our voters to care about the obvious stuff, the real stuff, the important stuff. We don't want y'all to think about how Joe can't function, won't function, somebody else going to be running the country. We don't want y'all to think about that because this DEFCON 5 is greater than that. You see how they're shifting it? We want y'all to vote above the obvious danger of Joe Biden becoming president again. Because what Trump is about to do is way more dangerous than a brain dead president. So now y'all ready for the pivot? So she got to pretend that I'm just doing this off cuff. I'm going rogue here. I'm not even going to do this in the studio. I mean, this is so important to me. I'm going to take time to just turn my phone on and say, hey, y'all, this is me, Joyless. This is me, Joyless. I got to keep it real with y'all, man. There ain't no time for me to get to the studio. This is that important, so I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. Right now, looking into the Christmas bulb. So let's see what she got to say. What's the urgency?
He can be seated for the rest of, from now to election day, and never get up off a chair. He could sit down. He could roll around in a wheelchair. He could be on a skateboard, seated. I don't care.
So now you sound like one of those dummies on the street that we just listened to. Say, I'm still voting for Joe Biden because he reflects my... This is where it's coming from. Now we see where the disease is. She's injecting folks with this mess. See, so now here she is. This is where it starts. With her saying things like this. Trying to go ahead and get the people to say, okay, yeah, we just witnessed a catastrophe with Joe. But now this new danger just has arrived. Trump might become a king. And the Supreme Court letting him do his thing. And right now we ain't got time to be voting based on whether Joe can function or not. We got to solely vote against Trump. So she's injecting a little fear element into the TDS. Let's see.
Donald John Trump cannot be allowed back into the White House.
Who are you? Says who? Oh, what? Oh, I thought you were supporting democracy. I thought it was the will of the people deciding who goes into the White House. You talk about he can't be allowed back into the White House. Yeah, we didn't say that when Creepy was installed. We were mad about it. Yeah, but here it is. This is how Democrats think. Now, if she could physically keep Trump from going, she would. If you gave her all power like she's claiming Trump will have as a king, you think this woman would rule fairly? No, she would be a tyrant. But here she is talking about Trump's going to be a king and a tyrant.
Another of whose wife literally was part of the insurrection.
Oh my God, now you're just straight up lying. I mean, is there any way to sue this woman for defamation? So one of the judge's wives was a part of the insurrection, literally a part of what's the insurrection? See, this is what kills me. These folks can get on here and just straight up make up stuff, and then it manifests itself in the public. They're the injectors of TDS. So now she just straight up lying on one of the Supreme Court justices. His wife was a part of an insurrection that didn't take place, right? What else about these justices?
And they ruled in this. They didn't let it put themselves in the Leonard Leo 6. They went ahead and ruled on this with no shame. You combine this court, two of whose members are going to immediately resign, and put 30-year-olds in there, including probably the guy who wrote the opinion in the Beaters case, meaning that Beaters should be able to get machine guns, which, by the way, they have now arrogated to themselves the power to decide all federal rules. Everything, whether your plane that you fly in is safe, how much carbon can be in the atmosphere, how much...
Now, she is dropping it all in there. She's giving us a gumbo of fear. Yeah, she's like, you know what? I got a new assignment. I got to reconfigure this virus here. We need a mutation. Yeah, we're going to create one of the viruses that includes all of the elements of Trump derangement syndrome. We want all the elements of fear, anxiety, panic, stupidity. We need that. That's one of the main symptoms of Trump derangement syndrome. You got to be stupid. You got to overlook common sense, stuff that's right in front of your face. Don't you be voting logically and rationally. That's why she started off by saying, I don't care. I don't care about the rational stuff, the logical stuff. I don't care. It's greater than that. And I want you to think that too. I want all of y'all who I'm about to inject this Trump derangement syndrome into to overlook common sense and go straight fear and emotion. You know, fear, false evidence appearing real. That's all she just dropped out there. A whole bunch of false evidence, but she wants them to internalize it as it's real.
Filth can be in your water. They said agencies that have experts can't decide that. They will decide that.
Look at that. They're going to block out the sun. That's right. You ain't going to be able to breathe. That's right. The sky's going to turn into red blood. And you know what there's going to be? You ain't know that? They're going to release all kind of zombies on y'all. Only on the black folks and the Latino folks. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do straight up dropping every element of propaganda and fear into this hit piece.
Hurricanes. You put him in the White House, combined with this court and a Republican House and Senate.
I think that'd be great. You put him in the White House, combined with this court and a Republican House and Senate. We got us a good time. Good times. Yeah, because we just went through temporary layoffs. Good times. Easy, creepy rip-offs. Good times. So now I'm thinking that's good times, Joey. You're selling me on Trump. Up here talking about you put all of them in power. We might get the country back.
We're done, y'all. All the rights that were won in the 20th century, the hard-earned rights of women, laborers, workers, the rights of children, remember child labor.
Everybody. Oh boy. The rights of women, labor, workers, the people, the tall, short, skinny, gay, straight, everybody except white men. So white men, I ain't going to include them. White men, they're the only ones that is going to have a great time. This is the only thing that's going to benefit is white men. So everybody is done. Everybody, y'all.
Labor used to be illegal. The rights of black folks, forget that. The rights of non-white immigrants, forget that.
Oh, look at that. The rights of non-white immigrants, full racist. Or you're implying that conservatives are racist. The rights of non-white immigrants. So let me get this straight. If Russians come across the border illegally, because she just said immigrants. Yeah, but I know what she's referring to. If Russians come across illegally, you come from some country where it's of European descent versus you come from Africa or whatever, Trump and his administration is going to say, you know what? Let all the white illegal immigrants stay and deport all of the immigrants of color. That's what he's going to do. Or could it be that the goal is to deport all illegal immigrants? But you want your audience suffering from Trump derangement syndrome to think that, one, these aren't illegal immigrants. They're just immigrants. Number two, it's all going to be determined by race. And we all know that's not true. But it's not her job to speak truth. It's her job to inject Trump derangement syndrome into the public.
All of the 20th, they are trying to They are trying to repeal the entire 20th century, and they're doing it.
Now she's going big. She's going big time. I'm on my way. I'm faking it. So now we're going to repeal the whole 21st century. Democrats have no limit on their propaganda, on their outrage, on their manipulation. We're about to repeal the whole 20. That is amazing. How are we going to do that? How are we going to, if I could turn back the hands of. So let's see.
Fast. Between them and these crazy Republican governors, they are repealing the American century, the 20.
Y'all hear that? We're repealing the American century. Could you lay that out for me? Can you describe how that looks? How do you repeal a century? What are you referring to? Huh? Bubble face?
Century, because they don't like it and they want back the 19th century.
Oh, God. She got a job. This woman gets millions of dollars to spew this crap up. So here she is. They want to repeal back. They want to take us back to the... Why would we do that? Why we want to go back like that, Joy?
When super rich white men, unchecked and untaxed, amassed great wealth, passed it down with no taxation to their descendants and pretended that they had earned it.
There you go. Are you talking about Joe Biden then? Are you talking about him? That's what I'm wondering. See? Yeah, you just jump right over all of your Democrat white men. Yeah, you don't want to include them in it. Yeah, so now here she is once again being racist. How does she work on TV? That were white men, super rich. It's all about race. It's all about racism, and they tolerate her for some reason. This is what kills me. I'm thinking, what point do you fire this chick? How much race baiting can a network take from somebody who's supposed to be a professional? She's a professional race baiter. They pay her to be a race baiter. So now all of a sudden, of course, it all comes back to scaring the people that rich, white, upper class men are the danger. They're going to take over the country, take us back when they ruled. And yet she gets paid millions of dollars to inject TDS into our society.
On their own, that they were just masters of the universe. They want that era back. They think that the 20th century was an abomination and they are dismantling it. They're coming for every single one of our rights. They're not done. They're not done.
They're not done. They're not done. Can you pack more fear into a rant than this? I don't think she left out anything. This chick has included every bit of false fear that you could think of. She was like, they're going to make you eat dirt. Did you know that? They're going to go ahead and come up with a machine that can turn all of us into worms. That's what's going to happen. And they're going to go ahead and... She can't... I'm thinking, did she miss anything? Did she miss anything? She's like, I'm going straight pedal to the metal with all of the propaganda.
So if you love having your freedom, having the freedom for contraception, LGBTQ rights, that's going to.
Yeah, slide that in. Slide it in. I forgot. I'm surprised I ain't catch. Yeah, she left that out. Yeah. Got the LGBT in there? You got them? Yeah, what else we need in there?
If you don't think they're coming for Obergefell, if you don't think they're coming for all these rights, then you are delusional.
As the person who said all of these things are going to happen, if Trump gets back in and the Supreme Court is conservative and all this stuff, everything she just described is delusional. She knows it's delusional, though. She's trying to put that delusion into society. She wants that delusion walking around and manifesting itself in the people that we just saw during that street interview. That's where we see it right there. When these people are saying things that comes out of people like this mouse. And I say, oh, now I know. I know where it is. See, the delusion ain't really in her. She wants it in them. She wants them repeating the stuff that she is saying. She wants them to believe the garbage that she's spewing. That's what it is. So here she is talking about, if you don't believe me, the propagandist, you're delusional. Now take that TDS with you. And go out there and get to the mic and say, and did you know they're packing the course? Did you know Trump is a king now? Did you know that they're going to roll back all our rights? That's what we hear manifested in the streets with all of these Biden voters.
For all of it. They're dismantling the 20th century. They are repealing the 20th century. It's not about Joe Biden anymore, y'all.
It ain't even about Joe. Y'all hear that? Don't look at Joe no more. Don't look at Joe no more. It ain't even about Joe no more, y'all. It's about all of the garbage I just spewed out of my mouth. So therefore, just in case we have to keep Joe, we don't want y'all to remember that raggedy debate. We don't even want y'all to consider the fact that this man looks one step away from death and will not be running the country. We don't want y'all to look at that. Okay. I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. You hear all the fear? You hear all of the, the fear in my voice and the passion and the emotion and the concern. You hear that, right? Take that to the streets. Go ahead. Take it to the polls. And then 4 years later, everybody's going to be going, why is the economy so bad? What do you mean illegal immigrants live in my neighborhood? What the?
A lot of them I disagree with. There's a lot of them I disagree with deeply, morally. It's above me now. It's above him now. You cannot allow Republicans to control the White House.
So what you should be saying, Joyless, is it's above your rationale. It's above your common sense. That's what I'm trying to get you to. I'm trying to get you out there to a state where you no longer apply any logic or reasoning. That's really the end game of the disease. We want y'all to not be thinking about rationality, reality. No, we want y'all to invest in a false reality that this woman just spewed out, laid it out throughout this rant.
The House and the Senate and the Supreme Court and all of these states.
Yay.
You're now voting for your life.
Oh.
You must vote. Listen to Taraji P. Henson, y'all. Project 2025, they've now just implemented it from the court. You don't even need it now. You have this court, plus Trump, plus the House, plus the Senate, plus all these states.
Sound good?
Y'all better vote for your lives in November.
You're right about that. Is that a message for us? Is that a message for us, Joyless? Because that's what I heard. Wait, what are all those wonderful things you just described that we need to vote for our life for?
Listen to Taraji P. Henson, y'all. Project 2025, they've now just implemented it from the court. You don't even need it now. You have this court.
Well, first of all, that's not true. But we got us a Supreme Court that's conservative. What else?
Trump, plus the House.
We're going to have Trump. What else? If we win the House.
Plus the Senate, plus all these.
And the Senate.
States.
And all these conservative states. Sounds like a good time. It sounds like a celebration. It sounds like we might have a shot at regaining the country based on all those things. So you're right about that, Joy. We need to vote like our lives depend on it. We're looking at this the same way that she's trying to get their voters to look at it, but we're looking at it accurately. We're saying this is a do or die election. We need to get out there and vote like our whole future of this country depends on it. So yes, we don't need the fear tactics like that. All we need is reality. All we need is to observe what you dirtbags have been doing to the country for the last 8+ years. That's our motivation. We don't have to have somebody like you come out and try to inject some garbage into our heads. All we have to do, because we're smart enough to see this guy can't walk or talk. This guy's a puppet. These people are breaking our border. These people tried to lock us down. Yeah, against our will. These people been spying on us. These people been listening in and watching what we type on the internet. These people don't like freedom of speech. These people are coming after our guns. These people are horrible on foreign policies. These people are spending our money on stupid stuff. We don't need a Joy Reid to come out and tell us all of this. We use our common sense to go, yeah, that is not a good thing, and we need to vote like our lives depend on it. So there you have it, y'all.
Y'all better vote for your lives.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I'm gone. Y'all be good.
Yeah, you get out of here. We don't like your kind here, Joyless. So you take that big ball noggin and get out of here. You go somewhere and get that bottom tooth fixed. Up there leaning backwards. Dang on it. So God bless y'all. God bless America. But that seems to be the direction they're going in. One of two things. Well, it might even be both. But the first one is, what are they going to do about Joe? Are we going to stick with him or roll him right up under that bus and go with the hyena? Yuck. Yeah, we'll see how that all pans out over the weekend. And then the other thing is shift everybody's attention to the Supreme Court, and they made Donald Trump a king, and now we're all the way back to he's dangerous, he's about to take over, he's about to kill everybody, he's rolling back all your the same stuff we've been hearing. Same stuff we've been hearing for God knows how long now. And I'm wondering, how long are you going to beat the horse? It's not moving, it's dead. It's decaying. You're not able to see that mug is dead? Yeah, as you beat the horse, it appears that more folks are still supporting Trump, but they don't get it because they're dumb. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I will be traveling tomorrow. So, I won't be doing a live stream, but I might upload maybe a premiere video or something like that, or just a standalone video. And I might try to slide in once I get down to Cincinnati and I'm in the hotel, get settled. I might do a live stream, but I don't have all my gadgets. You won't be able to see screen on stuff. I mean, I'll figure something out though. But I'll make sure I reach out to y'all over this weekend, especially if some breaking news happen. Okay, so I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Don't eat up all the hog maws, all the pig feet. Don't eat it all up. Save some for somebody. Yeah, you know that, dude. I like pig feet, Craig. I like hog maws. So yeah, don't eat it all up, and don't eat it up to where you clog up your veins. And then if you want, you can support the channel through checking out Kev's Corner store. And you can also donate to the channel through my Cash App and PayPal link as well. Don't forget, text MAGA to this number and subscribe to any of my links below the video. Okay, these are important because it connects us, y'all. It connects us. Bounce, man. All the Democrats got a dilemma, but it appears that it's going to be too big to rig.
This is awesome. I don't see the little tear up the place, yeah.